Hello, my name's Dan. Today we got a 2016 Ford Escape. It's got a little brake problem here. The pedal pulsates when you come up to stops. So I'm going to show you how to test each rotor for that and replace it. Let's get going. Alright, this right here is a clamp style dial indicator. I clamped it on the piece of steel on the inside. It doesn't move. You wrap it around, you center your gauge to 0, and you can spin it around and watch the needle, see how much movement you get. So it looks like that is within 0.02 of movement. Now if you notice, I did put 3 lug nuts back on it to keep the rotor tight to be able to check it. You always want to make sure to do that. So we know this one has roughly 0.02 of out of warpness, which is acceptable for a rotor. So I'll go around, check each one, and find out which one is bad. I'm always tapping it to make sure it's going to stay at 0 when I go to spin it. Make sure it doesn't move. Looks like that one is also 0.02 of warpness. This is acceptable. So it's not in the front, so now I'll do the rear. Looks like that one's only about 0.03. We can live with that. That one is perfect. Well, after checking these rotors with the indicator, I can't find one that's warped enough to cause what it's doing. So I started it up, put it in gear, set the cruise about 20 miles an hour, and I put a screwdriver on it, see if I could feel where the pulsating is coming from. The only thing I could figure It is coming from this rotor in the front because the surface is kind of rough. If you put a screwdriver on it, you can feel it slightly going back and forth when it gets to the edges on the front rotor here. So that's what I'm assuming is causing the problem. I'm going to replace this and see if the problem still exists. If that doesn't work, I'll have to more digging I'll have to do. There's many ways to compress a caliper, and everybody's different. I just like to stick a screwdriver, catch the pad, just give a little tug. You can feel it go in when it bottoms out, and there you go. Caliper is compressed. All I'm going to do to change a rotor is undo the 2 bolts to pull the whole bracket and caliper up at once. It's a lot easier to do it that way to change. Makes it quicker. Now that we have this compressed, the 2 bolts in here are usually on here really good. I just get my ratchet on there really good. I just take a hammer and smack them and break them loose. That one actually came off pretty easy. Them things get tight in there. They heat and everything else and corrosion. There's one of them. See if I can get in there, smack that one. Oh boy, that dude was on there. There's number 2. Get that side out of our way. You never want to dangle a caliper by its brake line. I always try to get it to wedge in the coil spring or up behind the axle, whichever is easier on what vehicle. Going to get these lug nuts off. From when I was testing it. And these may be on there. Don't want to come off of these either. A little smack goes a long way. A lot of times when I get these off, I like to feel the hub bearing. See if I can feel any excessive play. That bearing seems pretty good. And just by the feel of the lip here, this rotor is getting pretty wore. You can always mic them. You can always take them, have them turned. Being this is my daughter's car, and she's got to drive it, and I don't have a lot of time to work on her with her going to work and going to college. I'll just buy new parts and stick on it to keep her going. All right, on here, before I put the new rotor back on, I like to clean up the rust a little bit. All right, get it cleaned off like that. I like to take some anti-seize, put around it, make it easier for the next guy. Now on these new rotors, you want to take some brake cleaner and spray it off, because it comes with a lubricant sealer around it so it won't rust while it sits in the box. You don't want no grease or oil around it, because it causes your brakes to stick. New one slides on nicely. Now, the pads we had on there were wore to that rotor. So, get a file and smooth them up a little bit for the new rotor to be able to seat to them instead of wear grooves into the new rotor from the old rotor. Slide that pad out so it doesn't hit the metal. Slide it back on. Now the fun part, to get the bolts lined up. Alright, while it sits there, I am going to put a little bit of anti-seize at the end of the bolts. And things were Loctited from the factory. Yeah, got it lined up, bolts on. All right, let's get these little get them tight, make sure they don't come back loose. There we go, rotor is on. Now when you get back in the vehicle, make sure you pump the brake pedal before you put it in gear and back out. Alright, I'll get the tires back on. Go for a test drive. Alright, we're going to take this little test drive. Make sure I pump the pedal. See what happens. Pump it again when it's running. Watch my pickup truck. Of course, it's nighttime, so probably won't be see anything. All right, here we go. Didn't feel anything the first time hitting the brakes, but I gotta break that new rotor in. So a couple, hit the gas, stop. Fling you guys onto the floor. Oh no. That's all right, you can ride there a minute. If I stop again, that stop sign. Seems to be doing all right.
Phone connected.
Yeah, of course. Seems to stop finding at that stop sign. Let's see if I can reach you guys. Get you back up here. All right. Comes traffic, of course. Up to 40 mile an hour and hit the brakes to the next stop sign. Still doing pretty good. Think we may have fixed the problem. Go ahead and pull out from me. That's fine. Try to get up about 60 and hit the brakes. See how it does. I think that's perfect. That one rotor had an imperfection on the edge of it. I think it was causing the whole problem. That rotor was about $86. Yeah, I spent a little time figuring things out, trying to figure out which one. Sometimes that's the life of working on cars. Takes a little time, but in the end, if you could fix the problem, it's money saved. Well, this will be it. Name's Dan. Call this Dayton Garage. Give it a like. Give a comment. And I'll keep trying to fix some stuff for you guys. Thank you very much. See you next time.